Today, I want to share with you my experience from transitioning from the front end to the back end. As I've said previously, I'm going through the phase of learning how to develop web applications as a full stack web developer. In case you don't know me, my name is Teddy Dixon. I am an aspiring full stack dev, and in this YouTube channel, I share my learning experiences with you and how you can also grow or learn one or two from my experiences as I go through the same phase which you're going through. All right. So as we all know, the front end is based on UI, users interface. We develop the users interface based off of three major languages which we use, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and a compilation of all. Would I say all? Not necessarily all, but yeah, a compilation of all, which is React. React is based on components, JSX, and so on. You can use React to develop several web applications, like onto e-commerce sites to several other sites. And now, I wasn't really fond of JavaScript. That's why I wasn't really too much of a UI kind of guy. I wasn't really too much of a front end kind of guy because the user interface can be very critical at times. You're not just developing, you're also designing. And design on its own is a long process. It has a lot to it that you need to study carefully. For instance, you might work at several, maybe you might end up getting a gig and you might work at a particular web agency and they might tell you, okay, I need you to design this application for me, but I want you to use CSS grid only. You choosing to use CSS grid only, which simply means you're not going to use this libraries like Tailwind, Bootstrap, you're not or Undesign, Shang UI. You're not going to use any of that. You're going to use CSS grid completely from up to bottom, and at times it can be very difficult. But not to bore you, I'll just move on a transition phase to the backend. I chose Python, and Python is not really like the regular way of going through towards the backend. I chose Python instead of Node.js, and a lot of people might ask, why would you choose Python instead of Node.js? Here's the catch: Python is a versatile programming language that can be used for several different purposes, not just web applications or web design alone. You can use Python for AI, machine learning. You can use Python for data analytics, data science. You can use Python for game development. Now, don't get me wrong, you could also use JavaScript for game development. And to an extent, you can use JavaScript for AI. But I love Python simply because I've had the fundamental knowledge on Python to go for Python because I already had the fundamental knowledge. And instead of building on something which you don't necessarily know from the scratch. Now, why I'm saying I knew Python was because there was a time when I engaged in teaching myself Python. And when I was teaching myself Python, I wasn't really consistent. I was just doing Python and I stopped. But I then went into a coding school, coding boot camp, which I'm currently in still. In the next 2 months, I should be done. Then looking forward to internship. Yeah, so I went into that coding boot camp and I heard that they're gonna take on Python for those that are looking to transition in the back end. I was like, oh, okay, fine, good for me, because I already had like fundamental knowledges on Python, so I decided to go for Python. Now, Node.js on the other hand is easy. You can teach yourself actually how to use Node.js. I mean, Node.js isn't really difficult. You see, Python also can be self-taught if you dedicate your time. The major thing about programming is if you're willing to learn, you can learn all by yourself. You just need to basically teach yourself how to basically code, and all you need is just the ability to focus and distance yourself from a lot of things. I went off social media for quite a number of times now. It's been up to, maybe would I say, up to 3 months now. I haven't been on Instagram, I haven't been on Facebook, and I haven't been on several other social media platforms, but only, yeah, only WhatsApp. Only WhatsApp. Yeah. So this has helped me a lot because I don't just go onto any social media platform and start scrolling anyhow. If I try to start scrolling anyhow, that simply means I'm going to be wasting my time. Instead of me to start studying, I'll just be scrolling mindlessly. And nah, bro, it's not supposed to be so. Yeah. Now, another thing to know why I decided to choose Python is simply because Python, the framework which you'll be using is Django or Flask. Django is more modern than Flask. Django has, to an extent, high level of security. Yeah, so Django to an extent has high level of security, and that's another reason why I considered going with Python. Security, had the fundamental knowledge, and also easy to use. And Python is simplified code in a sense that you can write simple codes and you can also make it readable, plain. You can just write simple codes in a very easy fashion way. So these are the reasons why I decided to choose Python. And this is my experience from transitioning from the front end to the back end. Now, if this video has been helpful to you, kindly hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bells, and also give this video a like. If there's anything which you noticed that I did that you liked, kindly hit the comment section and let me know. But if this video, there are some things in the video which you don't like, kindly also hit the comment section and let me know so I can improve. Thank you so much for tuning in to the end of this video. And I'm looking forward to seeing you and building a very strong connection with you.